right. Well, Roberts, welcome to the show, filmfestivallive.com. Holy moly, what a day already. It's been one of those Monday mornings. I'm just looking to make sure that everything I'm saying can be heard, seen, and whatever. Welcome to the show. I do see monitor there. So here we go. Going to be a great show today. Lots going on. And as usual, I should probably do the BTS behind the scenes of filmfestivallive.com because it really is interesting me go ahead and orchestrating being a one-man band, getting this show up and running. But boy, are we having fun. Let me turn off some things. I just heard an email notification and I don't really need those. Thank you. Bye-bye. Especially when they come from casting networks. Let's see, there's no money. Why would I look at a casting notice with no money? Anyway, welcome if you're an actor. Welcome if you're a filmmaker. If you're a film festival, you know our show. We're on 3 days a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, talking about films, being an actor, being a producer, being a writer, being anybody in the industry because boy, oh boy, is this industry really is quite a roller coaster ride. Looking forward to a really good week. Been doing a lot of what I call seeding, and I have to tell you, my first guest, I forced him to be on the show to talk about an awesome issue. But he is one of the originals. I have, I could say, the when I say seeding, this gentleman, Kevin E. West, he's a legend. He's a very good friend of mine. He's been doing this for a long time, which I know he's probably laughing in the wings right now, doing his dinosaur imitation. But when he speaks, people listen. Not just, what's that commercial? I'll ask Kevin when he comes on. But E.F. Hutton, that's like an old ass commercial. People are like, dude, what are you talking about? Google it, damn it. Anyway, lots of stuff. And then our next guest, Andrea, I'm not even going to tell you she's just awesome, filmmaker, actor, all kinds of stuff. She's our first official guest. So if you're on YouTube, you'll see us right now. If you're on Facebook Live, we have 2 different channels. If you're on LinkedIn, if you're on Twitter, we're pretty much everywhere. So there it is. If you missed this broadcast, by the way, if you miss the broadcast, you can go any one of those places or filmfestivallive.com and you can check it out. Or, I'm seeing people already, look at that. See, people are already making responses. Okay. I don't know what that means, but I'll take it. So during the show, if people have questions, they can ask, and we'll try to answer them. But without further ado, let's stop talking so much. I mean, me, which is very difficult in itself. And let's bring on our first person. Now, I don't have a really big intro for Kevin because Kevin is just a very good friend of mine who is, I wanted to bring on the show right now because, here he goes. Oh, there he is, Kevin E. West. How are you, sir?
I I'm
I'm
well,
well,
and
and
that was
that was
6
six
longs, by
longs,
the
by the
way. How
way. How
long?
long?
Long time.
Time.
Yeah, long time. Me love you long time. All right. So bottom line is that I'm having you on the show today, and you're in your studio, by the way. I know currently that you're filming for quite a wonderful project that you're doing. We won't talk about that today, but you're here talking about a project that you're working on, which is going to help actors and quite honestly, I think other people in the industry as well. But let's not talk about that. We'll talk about that later. You're in your studios. Let's talk about Screen Actors Guild. First of all, definitely deep, heartfelt sympathies and condolences for a very, very well-known actor that passed away yesterday that has been lighting up. And have you had a chance to meet? Have you ever met this wonderful actor before?
I
I
met Ed
met Ed
Asner
Asner
very,
very,
very
very
briefly,
briefly,
actually
actually
because of
because of
union
union
politics.
politics.
Way
Way
back
back
in
in
2000
2000
during the
during the
2000
2000
commercial
commercial
strike.
strike.
But it was
But it was
brief. But
brief. But
Ed
Ed
certainly
certainly
was
was
the president
president
twice.
twice.
He
He
was
was
incredibly
incredibly
involved in
involved in
probably one of
probably
the
one of the
most
most
important
important
labor
labor
actions
actions
for
for
SAG
SAG
and
and
after, because
because
after
after
prior to the
prior to the
merger,
merger,
always
always
sort of
sort of
negotiated,
negotiated,
in
in
step with
step with
us
us.
back in
Back in
1980,
1980,
long
long
before I was
before I
ever
was
in this
ever in this
business.
business.
So
So
aside from
aside from
his
his
obviously
obviously
illustrious
illustrious
career
career
from
from
Mary
Mary
Tyler Moore
Tyler
and Lou
Moore and Lou
Grant and
Grant and
everything
everything
else,
else,
he
he
also
also
was
was
quite
quite
a
a
stalwart
stalwart in
in the
in the
union
union
effort
effort
to make
to
sure
make
we
sure
have
we have
an
an
exceedingly
exceedingly
fair
fair
living
living
wage for
wage for
those
those
of us
of
who
us
are
who are
not
not
quote
quote
unquote
unquote
multi-billionaires and millionaires.
Right. So let's talk about your crazy thoughts about jumping in. But you've been, I'll just preface this by saying that you've been so active with the unions for so many years, and having a conversation as an actor with you about the union, you always remind me to check things like contracts and what you're doing, why you're doing it, and knowing what you're getting into. So I'm not surprised that you're already in a leadership role, but why try to do more than you're already doing right now?
Well, this is probably going to take me a minute to answer, Will.
Got
I
it.
believe the first committee that I went to quote unquote volunteer for, which is one of the first things that everyone needs to know if you don't know, and that is we have a paid staff at SAG-AFTRA, but all the people who are elected, it is a volunteer position. You do it for free. And the first committee I ever volunteered for was way back in 1990, and it was a technology committee related to CD-ROMs, which, gee, how long did those last, Will? About 9 seconds?
I have a lot of
Then
them.
then a year later, I founded the Actors Network, and what I did over the years for what I used to call my community professional tithing was the Actors Network would actually have panels related to union politics and related to union leadership come in and speak every time there was an election, which is every 2 years. So I was always doing something involved with that. But when I closed the physical doors to the Actors Network in the middle of 2013, I needed some time off from sort of engaging with the community after 24 years of doing that. And then I got involved with a very nonpartisan, great grassroots group called Union Working, and you can find them at Union Working. And that started kind of like 1117. But after what I've witnessed for the last up close and personal for the last 4.5 years, I decided to go ahead after being on the theatrical negotiating committee last year during COVID in 2020. I decided to go ahead and run for the Los Angeles board. And that is currently the election that is happening as we speak. And your ballot would pretty much have to get in today if it was going to get counted, because they officially stop. They check the mail on Thursday the 2nd, and that's it.
Can I just ask you to summarize? I mean, this sounds like I feel funny asking you this because you and I have spent so many countless hours online or on a show I used to do for politics. But I'm asking you a political question, and that is that uh, why you? What are the issues that you think that are going to be something that we really need to deal with, like right now, as opposed to, everybody says, well, I'm going to make sure that actors get more money. I'm going to make sure that actors are going to be safe. We all know that. But what is the true passion about Kevin E. West when it comes moving forward? And why would we pick you?
Well, in general, the union politics unfortunately have become about as divided as the country is over the last 12 years since 2009 and the negotiations of 809, and then eventually what occurred within 2.5 years, which was the merger of SAG and AFTRA. We have a very, very divided union on ideology, and all that has done, which in my opinion is exactly what's occurring in the country, is, we had a phrase back then called stronger together.
Yes.
And to answer your question, Kevin doesn't necessarily believe that what's gone on since 1112 and the few years preceding that makes us stronger together. I believe that all we have done with the infighting and the childishness is be weaker. I believe that our negotiating, you don't want to call them an enemy, but certainly the folks on the other side of the table, which would be management, either commercially or theatrically, have done nothing but make it easy on them to take advantage of us based on that discord.
Yeah.
And I'm there to accomplish two things. Well, one is to change the discourse and really work, because I'm running as an independent. I'm not a part of either what we call faction. Is to try, and because I have friends on both sides, to bridge the discourse and also create very, very specific solutions that are, ironically enough, what you said, which is what sort of got me into this, which is concern for my pension. It's a concern for the solvency of the union and a concern for when I've worked very hard to have a pension as an actor, and to make sure that it's there at the time that I choose to take it.
Absolutely. Well, great stuff. And when is the actual? You said that they'll stop counting, so get them in now.
Yeah, I mean, as the joke goes, obviously the last 3 or 4 years, the postal service is sometimes a bit slow, and because they have to be in. I don't know, it's like noon or 3 o'clock or something on Thursday the 2nd. I think if you got them in, I think I would say if they were in the mail today and were picked up by 5 p.m. in Los Angeles, because I'm running. When you run for board, you're just running for your local board. So I'm not
Yeah.
running for the national board. So if you were in LA and watching this and you got your ballot in, I'd say it's going to be 50-50 that it literally gets delivered locally by Thursday at 3 o'clock.
I think obviously they need to go Amazon Prime on this.
Yeah, it's no bueno. Yeah, it's no
No
bueno.
bueno. And I have to say that when you started doing that slow lag thing, you
Yeah,
literally, your internet started lagging. I was like, wow.
as it should.
See, if you have that kind of commanding power as a person on my show, you definitely must be one of the union leaders. So there it
Yeah,
is.
Spectrum and I are very tight. Yeah.
There it is. Kevin E. West, of course, my good friend, kevinewest.com. You can check it out, kevinewest.com. We will, of course, have you on again and again and again, just because when I get tired of talking and I don't know what I'm talking about, which, yeah.
I don't know if that
Anyway,
ever happens.
what's that?
I don't know if it ever happens that
Yeah.
you actually get tired of talking.
Yeah.
You may choose to stop, but it's not because you're tired.
I think it's time to get rid of you. Nice
Oh,
talking.
I
Yeah.
don't blame you. Thanks,
Sure.
man.
All right. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, Kevin E. West. Check him out, kevinewest.com. All right, ladies and gentlemen, now let's move on quickly to our guest. And you know what? Normally, I ask, I ask how to pronounce her last name, but I did not ask Andrea how to say it. I'm going to say Dratch, and I'm going to look for her to nod her head correctly. If she nods in the wings and I'm saying it right, Dretch, is it Dretch? She's slightly. I think I'm not saying it correctly. So tell you what, let us start with a bit of a promo, a little bit of a demo of the work. And so let's check this out, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go, and watch this film.
Why are you not answering your phone? Mom has gone AWOL and I could really use your help.
AWOL? Do you even know what that means?
She's probably been drinking again. I need you to look for her.
Mom, what are you doing?
I just need to come down slow.
I'm sorry, what does that mean?
It means she wants us to watch her try and kill herself.
I need 24 hours to tape her off.
Tape her off? What's going on here, Lena?
Long or short?
Let's try the short.
I've been having an affair and now I'm being blackmailed by Kiki.
Why do I get the feeling I should be calling the police right now?
I wouldn't.
What do you mean? Why not?
I think by the time they get here, you will already be an accomplice.
All right, welcome to the show, Andrea.
Hey there, thank you so much for having me, Will.
Good.
And yes, I was laughing. I was laughing because my first name is actually pronounced Andrea. So
I knew that.
you
I knew that. I was just testing
yeah.
you. Andrea.
You were getting there.
And
I have a lot of, so I do commercials here locally in Colorado for a prominent business here. So my non-married name is Andrea Woodley, and a lot of people know me as Andrea Woodley. And then my married name is Andrea Dratch. So too, Shailene Woodley and Rachel Dratch. So I get it all the time. Are you related to? And I don't think I'm related to either, but hey, Shailene or Rachel, if you guys have a family tree and Andrea Woodley or Andrea Dratch is on there, give me a ring. Because actually Shailene I think is from Boulder. So I'm up in Loveland, but I was born and raised in Longmont, Colorado. So yeah.
Well, now that I'm totally confused about what your name is, that's awesome. Yeah. Great promo of the film. How's it doing?
Thank you. You know, it's doing really well. We just had our in-person premiere that we had at the Lyric up in Fort Collins. We did the whole film festival circuit. We were supposed to have our big premiere right out the gate, and then COVID hit. So we had a little bit time off, and then we got into a bunch of festivals, which was great. We were hoping that we could go to at least one festival and network and meet people in the business, but almost every single festival we were in was online. So we still got a ton of people that viewed our film, Small Town Remedies, but yeah, we had an incredible festival run.
Are you, this film is how long in length?
So this is an hour and a half.
Okay, it's a
And
feature.
yes, and we shot the entire film in Loveland, Colorado in 8 days. So it is your true indie film hustle.
Yeah.
R.W. Perkins is the writer and director,
Wow.
and it's our second feature film that we've done together. Him and Andy Carrasco and I, the three of us, run a production company out here in Colorado called Film Locale. And so we finally were like, let's put a name to ourselves. We've been doing this for a long time. So the film has to do with a adult, siblings that are dealing with the day in the life of their mom going through a relapse. And one of my favorite festivals, well, one of my favorites is here in Colorado, but one that we got to be in, and they screened our film a few times, is Real Recovery Film Festival. And I want to, with the topic of our film and with that film festival, have you heard of it before?
I have heard of it, yes.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, we're the Film Festival Live people. I hope so. But yeah, we have.
Yeah.
Makes it good.
Yeah, they like to highlight addiction, recovery, any human behavioral disorder. They accept a lot of films that have to do with that. So we were really proud to be in that film and bring some attention to ours that had to deal with addiction.
Absolutely. Do me a favor and scoot yourself over just a teeny bit. I'm getting.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, my chair is.
Yeah, we want the whole of you. Well, okay. So let me ask you: did you start off as an actor? Did you start off? I mean, how long you been doing this? Give us a little bit of a background, and then after that, I'm dying to know what made you decide to do a production company, because I know well enough in doing this for 40 years that producing and shooting and doing and things is another whole bird. But you have to do this in this day and age. Give us a little bit of a background.
Okay, so I, growing up, was always involved in theater. And I, straight out of high school, I did all the sports, all the theater, all the choirs, everything. But then ultimately, when I went to college, I decided to focus on film. And at first, I went to Montana State University in Bozeman. They have an excellent film program there. So I took directing, acting, screenwriting, you name it. I did the whole shebang there. And then over spring break, they were auditioning for the American Academy of Dramatic Arts in New York City. And I was coming home for spring break. So I decided to audition, and I got in. Wow. And without even asking my parents, is this something that it was just like, I got in, I'm going. And later, as I'm older, I was thinking about that, like, oh, I guess maybe I should have asked if that was something that they were down with. But I got in. So I flew to New York with 2 bags. I had never been to New York City before. And I love that story because it kind of sounds like so old fashioned, but it's really what happened. And I am so grateful that I just got to take off and go do that. And, I graduated out there. I graduated from the academy and ended up moving back to Colorado around 2005, and was in theater, and then got into sales, kind of took a little step away, had to pay the mortgage, had to do all the things. But I am so passionate about film and acting that I just found my way back into it. And it definitely helped that R.W. Perkins met my sister, and he's a screenwriter, and now he's my brother-in-law. So, my sister married a screenwriter. I was an actor. That meeting, we were like, let's do this. And so it's working out very well for us.
That's great. So I guess the question is, New York to Colorado, was it because of family? Because why wouldn't you just come out here? Or at the time, I would say, yeah, I mean, now you can move anywhere in the country or the world. But why Colorado as opposed to just going straight to LA and hitting it?
It's one of those things you can always do woulda, shoulda, coulda.
Yeah.
And my husband and I did go to high school together. So
Oh,
we
wow.
ended up getting back to he went to CU. We ended up getting back together, and that definitely was a big reason to move home to
Oh,
Colorado. I always thought about going to LA. Honestly, I have a lot of friends that moved out to LA, and I don't know. I guess I just missed Colorado. It's an amazing place. The
is it?
film industry here is taking off. We just need a little bit of help from the, the state.
Yeah.
But, we have a lot of actors here that are going to New Mexico, a lot of people in Atlanta kind of bouncing back and forth. So I know multiple screenplays right now that they're actually planning on shooting in Colorado.
Oh, wow.
I was at one thing at the Denver Film Festival, and there was an actor there from LA, and he was like, it was amazing being in a film that was actually shot in Colorado, that we said we were in Colorado. He's like, usually I'm just on the green screen, we say it's Colorado, or
Yeah.
we head out to the desert. But I don't know. I'm hoping. I love Colorado, and I see a lot of promising filmmakers. The community here is strong. Horsetooth International Film Festival out of Fort Collins.
Huh?
We won the Horsetooth Film Festival Award last year. We won Audience Choice up there in Fort Collins. It's just the creativity, the music scene, the film scene.
Yeah.
I don't know. People are kind of being stubborn, and we're like, no, we will not leave the state.
Yeah.
It's going to happen here. We're going to make it happen.
Well, that a couple of good points there is that first of all, Colorado, I kind of know because I don't know if you looked at my information, but I'm a professional cowboy and all my trick roping.
Yes.
And so I go there quite a lot. I hate the Denver airport. I've done every state twice or three times, and I hate the Denver airport because you have to drop your rental car off, and then you got to get your ass over to the. Oh my God! I've had so many times I've done gigs, and I'm not going to make it. But anyway, I love it because one of my favorite places I used to do shows all the time is Durango. Love Durango, the railroad. What a great place to shoot stuff. Which, by the way, Butch Cassidy, Sundance Kid, stuff like that was shot there. It's such a beautiful natural place. Recently, here's my my help on your hope for Colorado. Recently, I picked up a new agent in Colorado, Denver, which is Donna something.
Donna Baldwin. Yes, Donna Baldwin.
Donna Baldwin and Brad there, and so to give what you're saying a little bit more credence and know that you're not the only one that feels this way about outside of LA. LA is just so difficult now because of tax incentives. I don't care if you're right, left wing, chicken wing, it doesn't matter. It's just more difficult to be able to do it here. You can't walk on the streets and shoot something with your iPhone if you shoot it this way, because they'll go, oh, what are you doing? Colorado is just a natural place, and there is a lot of stuff that's over there that's gonna be shooting, whether it's an HBO or it's a Hulu or whatever. So it's all there. You just have to know how to hit the pavement running and go after it. And plus, you're already doing it because you're in it. This is not your hobby, and so. I mean, as far as I know, it's not your hobby. And
No.
so that being said, I think that I think you're making the right choice because it's so difficult here. There's 5,000 emails a day I get on breakdowns for here, but they're just not the same as when you see something in Texas or you see something in Colorado. So I think that that's the way that the future, or right now, moving on is going.
Yeah, I would agree. I mean, I have a lot of friends still in New York City, in LA, some people working, some people not working, moved there with the intent to do it. I also have a lot of people that have moved back to Colorado or moved to Colorado from LA. And I'm never saying I would love to go out there and work on projects.
Sure.
I do meet people though that they go out there and they're like, it was so overwhelming. I feel like I got the creativity sucked out of me. But here I just keep getting projects are lining up for me. I don't actually have an agent right now, which
Wow.
I go back and forth with that. And a lot of people ask me, who's your agent? And I keep having projects lining up for me.
Sure.
I'm a hard worker and I'm also very passionate about it.
Mm-hmm.
And I just believe that the right, if you team up with the right people and everyone is passionate about what they're working on, you're going to make something amazing. Now, I'm working with someone else that it's, people that are creative, and this, sometimes it's easy to get stuck doing projects and you're like, hey, we need to start getting paid for this.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
And that is, I think what a lot of people run into also in Colorado is just the so many people just wanting to get whatever they can possibly get.
Sure.
And then they end up not getting fully paid for maybe what they want to be doing, because it's just it's so competitive. Even in Colorado, it's so competitive. But I know a lot of amazing filmmakers in Denver, a lot of women that are rising up in the film scene in Denver. I've recently worked with Jessica McGaw and Roma Sir. She's an amazing writer on the Womanhood series. So that's going to be coming out in January. A lot of awkward personal moments that women go through, and all the principal roles and people involved were female. So that's just a cool thing, I think, that is important to have here in Colorado as well. And then with my film company, we are working on another series, My Indie Romance. We have another screenplay in the mix. A couple other, Cheryl Glubach is an amazing writer here. That she worked in LA for a while, writing screenplays. Diane Bell, I don't know if you know of Diane Bell, Sundance Award-winning director and writer. She's out in Colorado now. So I just feel like all this energy is coming to our state, and I'm just really excited to see kind of where we all go with this. So
yeah, I totally agree with you. Like I said, as a professional actor of 40 years, one of the things that I was back in the day when we had black and white photos, and we would look on our agent's wall and go, oh boy, I'm not on the top line, and so that's a problem. But we had to do it a different way. But now, because I'm real savvy and everything, one of the things I've come up with is that in the last the last month, I now have 7 agents around the United States. I have a few outside because I did a Netflix film, a Disney film, and so on. So I have like in Brazil. But the point I'm trying to make is that if you stick your eggs in one basket and you're just trying to do the LA thing, okay, but it's going to be a little bit more difficult for you because, again, when I started, you didn't have. Right now, we probably have an average of about 4,800 people when they click the breakdowns to try to, get the director's attention or the casting director's attention, and then they have to filter through it. Quite honestly, I tell actors all the time, get your shit in quickly, because the fact is that when you get to about 50, I know their heads are spinning. I've had them on the show, and they're like, I don't even know what to think of. Maybe I'll just call my brother, because the fact is that there's so much out there that you have to know your craft. And I think most actors, and I'll say some of the creatives, forget that show business has the word business in it. And so if you don't know the business and you're not looking and putting your feelers out and trying to figure out what to do, then most likely you're probably not going to make it, and you probably should become a barista. So I'm just being hard-nosed about it, but I'm just saying that this is the best time, and I think you would probably agree. This is probably the best time if you want to be an actor or a creative, shooting, editing, directing, whatever. And side note, I am absolutely glad that women in film are rapidly coming into the forefront. I have good friends like Jen Page and a list of others that are directors that belong to the women's and there's not enough women directors. And I know, and I'm a stunt and I'm a weapons dude, and it's like, you don't ever see a woman director on an action film, or not enough of them. So I'm just really glad, because let's be honest, if we had the woman running this country, we probably wouldn't have our heads in our asses. Oh, I'm sorry, I made a political statement. Point is that all I'm trying to say is that I think that everything right now is so prime. If you're hungry, you want to go get it, and you've shown that. I'm very excited. I would love to try to say your name correctly again, Andrea.
Andrea, yes.
Andrea.
Yes, and I agree. And I think that, you know, the more you put yourself out there, when I was in college, we didn't have Instagram, Facebook. So, I mean, I just, it blows my mind, these actors that aren't even on social media. You really have everything, right? I mean, that's how I got teamed up with you and Sal. And, it's just, it's amazing what you can do, the connections you can make, who you can reach out to. And just like you're saying, not keeping your eggs in a basket in LA, it's also important to, you know, now all my kids are in school. I just sent my twin 5-year-olds to kindergarten.
Awesome.
And I have 3 little boys. And so it's just I'm just set myself up pretty to be really working hard, getting a lot more jobs. And I think it is like, I also don't want to just keep everything right here in Colorado. I just think that there's a whole lot of really creative, talented people out there. It is though. The one thing that's hard, and I say, is someone was telling me, they're like, no, you know, now influencers also moved to LA. And so now you don't only compete with them. And I feel that even in Colorado, like you're, as an actor, you're not just competing with other actors. You literally are competing with influencers or people just trying to become Instagram famous. And it's really hard to, or I shouldn't say hard, but you really just want people to know I am serious about this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
yeah, it's just more clutter. And
yes, exactly.
And no offense, but again, actors can't really can't market producers or directors or casting directors because they go, "What are you doing?" I don't know. I think I call it business. With that being said, I'm going to end the program or this section, and I'm going to show you all something in a little bit. I really appreciate you coming on. I've tried to make your ups here in the top. It should have been black, but I always wonder, hold on a second, I'm going to try to make this color a little bit different so people can read it. And maybe we'll try red. Let's see what happens. There it is up there. But I'm going to put it down here somewhere where I can find. There we go. There's your URL. I'm trying to figure out how to do it.
Oh, yes. And can I add in really quick? So if you go to smalltownremedies.com, sign up for our newsletter because our film is being released early September on VOD. We're going to be on Amazon Prime and on Vimeo. So you can finally, the world can see our indie film that we are so proud of that has so much passion behind it. So anyway, I really appreciate this time with you, Will. I really do. Thank you so much.
Not a problem. And you know, as you probably have talked to Sal or in some way, shape, or form, we're out there to make sure that film festival people, whether it's directors, actors, whatever, we're really kind of out here to make sure that the Hollywood and beyond knows that film festivals should not be sitting in the back seat of the car like the kids. They should be in the front seat driving. So if you're anywhere in the industry of creative and you're not getting into the film festivals, I think you're missing out a lot. Thanks for your time. I really appreciate it.
Hey, yep, I appreciate it. Thank you, Will. We'll see ya.
Date again. Hold on tight. I'm going to go to a small break. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, before we go to the break and I get to my next guest who's been so patiently waiting, I can see her waiting in the wings. I'm going to show you what I was talking about. I created this because I got tired of sitting around. I always do guerrilla marketing stuff and I try to make things different. I came up with an ad that looked like it was a furniture ad, and it said at the top of it, was a banner ad, and it said, hey, casting directors want to know how to be successful. Click here. So when they click here, they saw this.
Hey, thanks for clicking the banner. Now, I know you're dying to know what it is that makes a successful casting office or director or production. And the answer is actors. See, you can have a great script, great casting director, a director, producer, but here's the problem. You always need good actors.
To be or not to be?
But let's face it, there's way too many of us. And we can't market to you, which is odd considering that they call it show business, and that means that there's business in the show. We can't call you. We can't send you an email. We just submit to the breakdowns like the other 4,800 that submitted to you on that casting call, with no action-packed pitch letter, sales letter, and all we do is stand in line and remain quiet. Let's be honest. Lines are for Starbucks, not for careers. If I still have your attention, I want you to watch this next 46-second video. Now don't go away, because there's a quiz after this.
Detective Gennaro, I need to speak with Rex Wilson.
Rex is already out there on the speedway for his practice run.
You know what I mean.
Now let me see your shotgun.
Here, cool it down.
Just like your old man, huh? Is there a problem, soldier?
I'm asking you a question, Lieutenant.
Running in clown shoes.
This is gonna be fun.
Time! What if they need more time? See? That wasn't so painful. And I even saw a couple of you laughing. So if you like what you saw, operators are standing by.
Yeah, Will Roberts is great.
for sure.
Oh, you want to book him?
That's my agent. And if you didn't like my approach, well, I'm Daniel Craig, and I hope you enjoyed this commercial.
So that's it. Just trying to do something different and getting the attention of people, because you know what? And some people have said to me, aren't you a little worried? My wife said, aren't you worried that they might go, what are you doing? And I'm like, whatever. So what are you going to do? If you don't get noticed in a crowd with now so many more creatives, because the internet has made it so easy to produce, shoot, direct, be an actor, whatever. So there it is. Now, without further ado, I'm going to bring our next guest on, and I hope that you. Now, I haven't had no chance to talk to her, Catherine, and I'm hoping. I'm going to say, is it? I'm going to look for her approval in the background here. Is it Geary? No, I'm going to bring her on. Forget it. All right, hold on a second. I'm hoping you're. Oh, there she is. Number two. Got to always make it. Okay, how are you?
I'm great. How are you?
You know, I'm fantastic, but I had a really cool looking slate for you, and I don't see it. Hang tight, don't leave me yet. I gotta figure out where I put it. Well, no, that's not it. Hold on a second. I have a really cool looking thing that says your name on it, and normally let's see if I have this here.
Yes, I'd love that. I'd love if you could put that up.
No, that's
Oh,
you
there we
alone.
go.
But that's
Very
you alone.
cool.
No, but wait, that's you alone. Hold on a second. I need to give you your own. Ta-da!
There we are. Yay.
I'm normally much more on it, but today has been one of those days. You know, I started getting phone calls and people texting me, and I'm like, oh God, I got a show. Anyway, welcome to the show, by the way.
Absolutely. So how you pronounce my name is actually Garen. My last name.
Gosh, I would have definitely had to have a phone call for that one. Garen. Right. So, all right, let's get into it. First of all, now you're in LA, right?
I am, yes.
Okay. And by the way, I have to commend you because I talk to a lot of people Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and you are going to probably get the award for probably the best setup and stream that I have seen so far. And I mean this sincerely. All the rest of the people that are watching this, I love them dearly, but I have to tell you that sometimes I'm looking at it going, oh my God, it looks like they're a Monet. It looks like impression. It's all like, and in the back there's a dog barking, and it's okay. We're all filmmakers and people in the industry. So, and I just noticed that you have your Wonder Woman bracelet on.
Yes.
Wow.
Always.
Awesome.
Always.
Let's talk about you. First of all, give me a little Reader's Digest version about. I want to ask you first, which is stronger, actor or filmmaker at this point?
I would say they're both pretty equal, but filmmaker slightly higher. I'm in the midst of shooting my comedy pilot that I executive produced, I wrote, and I starred in as the lead. But I would say executive producing definitely like takes the cake in terms of work involved, because it's so multifaceted. You have to do absolutely everything and anything that people ask of you.
You're your own showrunner. You basically.
Absolutely.
So, okay, but I actually meant passion-wise. If someone said, okay, Catherine, let's be honest, which one do you love the most? I mean, the other one, when you say filmmaker, you have to do those things. Because unless you have a big budget, then you kind of have to do those things. So what's your passion?
I would say actor.
Good answer. And with that being said, let me ask you, what's your favorite style in regard to, I think I got a screen freeze here. That's right, you got a screen freeze. All right. And I gave you that great compliment.
Yes, sorry about that.
Sorry, not you. I gave you the great compliment, but it's okay. It still looks good. The shot looks great. So tell me, what's your? Would it be comedy? Because you just told me you did a comedy pilot.
Yes, yes, but I write all genres. You know, I would say my writing voice very much mirrors my own personal journeys. So, you know, in life we go through comedic things and we go through dramatic things, but my voice is always centered around a strong female protagonist that is facing adversity and is broken, and then the story is always, you know, finding her way out. And I tell that story through many different templates. You know, it could be a psychological thriller, it could be a comedy. So it really, it's like that's also an actor's job too. It's like we're not just comedic actors, we're not just dramatic actors. I always find it funny when people are like, "Oh, I only do comedy or I only do drama." It's like, well, the human experience is so, you know, there's so much to explore. So yeah.
Okay, but hold on a second. I want to talk about this. So, did you start off funny or did you start off serious? And the reason I'm asking this is because if you ask an actor which is easier, that really depends kind of where they started. So, how did you start? Being funny? Falling over things?
You know,
Did you start?
I think dramatic. I think going in, you know, trying to. I started out doing commercials first and foremost. That's how I fell into the industry, and then I wanted to be a serious actor, you know. And I was like, you know, I want to tell really compelling, heart-wrenching stories. You know, because that's exciting as an actor. So my first foray into writing and filmmaking was kind of on a whim. I entered an LA Film Festival contest in 2017, and I wrote a very dark and serious, sad story. And then I come to find out all the other filmmakers wrote like really lighthearted stuff. So mine definitely stood out as like this really sad, dramatic story. And when people meet me, they're like, "But you're so bubbly and you're so friendly. Like, where's this darkness inside of you?" So I kind of went that route for a couple of stories, and then this project was the first time that I wrote comedy, and it feels, you know, I feel very proud about my dramatic work, but this is me. Like, it was so easy to write, it's so easy to perform. It just feels like this is my niche.
Okay, so because you said you started off in commercials, and I understand that one. I was at Dan Bell's 3 times last week, and on a couple of callbacks and things. And so commercials, though, when you say commercials, it tends to be a little more lighthearted. So
absolutely,
yeah. So my again, when I talk to a person who's a comedic actor, I say, which is harder to, well, in general, as an actor, which do you think is harder to do, comedy or drama?
I think for me, drama. Comedy for me comes very naturally. I've been very just naturally funny my entire life. Like, I've been able to naturally improv with people.
Okay.
See, I'm making you laugh right now.
No, I'm just envisioning all of a sudden you're going to do something really weird, and I'm like, I don't know it, because you're one of those people that you look at and you go, wow, she looks pretty normal. And then you're going to go like something like that, and I'm going to go, oh, okay, I get it. She's really out of her mind. Sorry. And she's going to hit you with her bracelet. Anyway.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. So,
and like,
because a lot of
the beats to comedy scripts has been really natural for me. And like the banter back and forth, like that's really important in comedy, is timing.
Yes.
You know, and some people are blessed with timing and some people are not, you know, it's something that they have to learn. And I've just been able to kind of understand timing and the relationships between people, so you like can you know, it's like improv is all about what give and take, you know?
Yeah. Well, hopefully. Yeah. It depends on what commercial audition you go to. Because oh boy, I remember doing a commercial audition like 2 weeks ago, and the person was sitting there playing my son, and they're like, "Okay, I'm going to try this thing." I go, "You do whatever you need to. I'm good. Whatever you want." And then they got in the room and went, "Is this your improv?" I'm like,
"Is that what you're doing? Is that what you're going to do?
What am I supposed to do with this?" I'm like, "All right." I'm dancing around and like. And the casting director pulled me aside and said, "Thank you. Thank you. I'm like, no problem. I'm like, oh God. Anyway,
no.
but to answer, I think, when a person has a grasp of comedy and they're not the actor that started off serious, I honestly think that they have a little bit more in the, unless they're like De Niro, but I think that comedy actors have sometimes a better translation of serious than the serious people do, because they have a level. And a lot of times, I mean, think about it. Comedy is dynamics. You could be like this, you could be like this. It could be funny. But a dramatic actor tends to go, I'm here, I'm upset, I'm crying. And you're like, where can you go with that? And so I just find that a lot of times comedic actors tend to be a little bit across the board. And I'm sure right now someone's calling up my phone and telling me to go to hell. But the point is that I think that you have much more depth if you're a comedic actor doing serious. That's the thought.
I think so, especially like you said, you have to have the levels. You know, you have to build jokes, you have to build the story. You can't always be at a 10.
Right.
You know, that gets obnoxious and annoying.
Yeah.
So you understand transitions really well, which I think plays into dramatic work. Because again, you never want to be on hysterically crying the whole time. You know, holding back the tears in drama is actually one of the most powerful performances.
Wow, very nice, very well said. I will say one more time. We'll give you one of these. All right. So let's talk a little bit about you're okay on time, because I made you wait a little bit. You okay on time?
Yeah.
All right, awesome. Do you have a website? I know it's somewhere, and Sal's in the wings right now going, God damn it, I gave it to you, Will. But
I have an IMDb. I'm not great in the promoting on myself. I need to get better.
Are you kidding me? Oh my, here, I'm disconnecting you right now. I'm sorry. What? Really? You're not? Holy moly.
You can find me on IMDb.
Oh, okay. You don't have a website?
I don't have a website. I probably should make a website.
I'm sorry. Let's take the word probably out of that equation, young lady. What did you just say? Where is my hammer? Anyway, yeah. You probably should right after we're done. Anyway,
right.
But let me find this. What about Instagram?
Yeah.
Good.
I'm on Instagram.
You're about to concern me here that you were actually. Yeah, you were about to concern me that you're actually 75 years old if you actually said, no, I don't have any of that stuff anymore. Hold on a second. What is it again?
It's my name, K-A-T.
K.
And then G.
Hold on. You're going to spell it for me. Spell it.
G-E-R-E-N.
Start from the beginning.
K-A-T.
Uh-huh.
G-E-R-E-N.
G-E-R-E-N. And that's it? It doesn't even have a... You don't have anything?
That's it.
Okay, good.
Nothing
I want to make
special.
sure there's nothing like weird that I'm missing.
Nope.
Like creator or whatever, because a lot of people have different... Where did it go? There. Wow, that's pretty small. Is that it?
That's it.
She's raising the roof, folks. Raising the roof. Okay, let's talk about another subject, and that is film festivals. Are you submitting? Are you putting in? Have you? What's your experience? How are you enjoying it? Anything about film festivals?
Absolutely. I think it's a fantastic way to get seen, by independent filmmakers. There's only so many avenues for independent filmmakers, especially distribution-wise. So if you want to get your film seen by people all across potentially the world, I think film festivals are a fantastic. So, there's so many that cater to specific genres. So yes, absolutely. My very first project, one at the LA Film Festival, that completely changed my life.
Wow.
And then this project that I'm working on right now, I'm going to submit to South by Southwest. And I really crossing my fingers that we are able to premiere there.
Well, I think what we should do is when you're done, we need to have you back on, and we'll shoot the trailer. And then Sal, who's sitting here right now, he's adding more film festivals as we speak, because literally film festivals are adding in by the week. He gives me a tally. He's the numbers guy. But with that being said, maybe we can get it in front of their faces. So that would be kind of cool. Let me ask you, are you done shooting? Where are you?
There's one very short scene pending a celebrity's schedule that we are hoping to have a part of the project. And I can't say too much. I probably already said too much.
Yeah, that's all right. And so if that happens, then you insert that he or she in it, and you're off to the races.
Exactly. We wrapped last weekend on 99.9 of principal photography. So now we're like finding the editors and getting into the editing bays and doing all the post-production fun work.
Yeah. Can you tell us the name of it or no?
Sure. Yeah, it's on my IMDb with the cast. Sure. It's called The Lisa's Almost 30. And I play Elisa, and I hit kind of a quarter-life crisis, turning 30. Boyfriend, no job, no husband, no house, nothing, you know? And then just when I think things can't get any worse, my birth father, who I never knew existed, enters my life to say, hey, I want to be a part of your life. And I'm like, whoa, hold up.
That's crazy. Well, I have to, so first of all, is that true?
It is. It's actually based on my real life. I'm adopted. And right around my 30th birthday, my birth father contacted me out of the blue. It sent me on a complete spiral that is not camera friendly, not cute. It was not cute.
Wow. Okay, so here you go. Ready for this? I'm 57, and at 54, we did a DNA test. I found out I've never known who my father was, never saw him, never knew what he looked like. My mother, every time I would mention it, she's no longer here, she would just start breaking down going, I don't know where he is at. I'm like, she's dead. A lot of weird stories. I at one point thought my mother was maybe a service person on the streets, because I was like, what's going on? That's a really weird way of putting that, service person on the streets. Anyway, yeah. Anyway, but I found out too, and he is passed, but I got a picture, and I found out I have a brother and in Chicago, because I'm from Chicago. And same thing. I was like, boom. One day I spent all this time going, I don't know who it is, searching, quite honestly, even tried newspapers, but everybody I came up with, no offense, no, just telling the truth, everybody that I found out that said they might have been my dad was African American, and I'm like, I don't think that's possible. So anyway, with that being said, same thing. So I'm dying to know if that was true or not.
Yeah, completely. And it completely changes your life in a way that you like don't expect, because I feel like we all have this vision of like how it's going to be, and who this person's going to be, and how it's just going to like fit so perfectly in our life, and and then it happens, and it's like nothing like we ever imagined, and the person is nothing like we have, it's so strange to, number one, finally see a person that looks like you. My entire life I never saw a person that looked like me, That was the biggest thing where I was like, holy, I don't know if we can swear, I was like, holy crap.
Oh,
I have brothers and sisters.
Please throw out 3 or 4 cuss words right now to get rid of it. Shit, damn, fuck, whatever. You're good. We checked, and no kids are watching this or in the making of this, so we're good. But let me tell you something. When you said that you don't know whether or not, I love how this show always becomes human interest, because, yeah, okay. Anyway, but I actually found out, and I'm not surprised because of my nature, and I can sell ice to the Eskimos in water form. But the fact of the matter is I found out that my dad was actually he was a bank robber, and he was known as Gentleman Jim, and he crack safes. And I'm like, wow, because what people know about me is that I'm a professional magician, and I'm actually an escape artist, and I actually pick locks. Yeah. So I found out that he was actually a bank robber. Yeah. It'll make a great story someday.
You have to write that story. You have to write that story.
I got a few other scripts to write first, but so I found that out, and it turns out that he was quite the they called him Gentleman Jim. And he tried to rob a Wells Fargo with a fake bomb.
Oh my God, you have the script right there.
I know. I actually saw in the newspapers, in like 25 newspapers I checked, found the date that he did it, and it was in 25 newspapers about a guy who's my dad, James Melisano, real name, and found out that he was arrested, and he served 5 years in prison. but he was apparently very brilliant. But anyway, and then
Oh my
obviously,
God,
yeah, he had a lot of what?
fascinating. Absolutely fascinating. That's so cool. You got to have those newspapers, right? Like framed and
I
up.
don't. Yeah, I tried to forget about him because I'd never met him. But,
Yeah.
very interesting story. But at least it gave me an insight about who I am. Not that I rob banks, but I'm just saying that if I did, anyway, I could follow
Totally.
my dad's
Well,
footsteps.
to add to that, I found that my birth father is an actor, and he founded an acting conservatory.
No. Are you serious? Oh, that's the worst kind of father to have as an actor. Come on. I even lie to my kids. I have a 7 and 10-year-old. I go, oh no, I'm an accountant, kids. Get out of here. Anyway, great having you on the show. I know I'm going to get this wrong again. Is it Greer?
Garen.
See, I was like going with the cheese thing. Greer. What the hell? That's why people come on my show so I can mispronounce their names. Anyway, Catherine, it's such a pleasure to talk to you. If you're interested in seeing anything that she's doing, start with the Instagram, which is right there, CAT, and then GE. Thank you. And I can't ever get this right. Damn it. I can't get it.
Oh.
Thank you. Anyway, thanks for coming on the show. We'll have you on again when you get to maybe having a trailer. Let's talk. Otherwise, appreciate you coming on the show.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. It was so fun.
It was a lot of fun. Be safe, be well. And by the way, wear a mask if you're not vaccinated. If you're not vaccinated, get vaccinated. Not talking to you. I'm talking to everybody. Anyway, have a good day.
Bye.
All right, everybody. Hey, that is the show, except for we're going to check in with Sal. Sal, hold on a second. I'm going to bring you in, buddy. Somewhere in here. I have so many directors and film festivals in my queue here. Not like here, but I got to figure out where the hell you are, Sal. Oh, here you go. You're number 3, Sal. There you go. Oh, my holy God. I don't hear you, Sal.
How are you?
Well, you're way
How
behind.
is everything? That was a fantastic show, or it is a fantastic show.
Your voice is so far behind. Yeah, call back.
Oh, really?
Call back. Call back. All right, while he's sitting there. Hope you enjoyed the show. What a fun show that was, man. That was just a fun show. Hold on a second. Let's see if we can get him back in here. There he is. Can you hear me?
How do I sound?
You're much better.
Thank you.
You know what? I have to tell you, I just really, our budget, I wish our budget was a little bit bigger so I could have people running around here actually getting me coffee and making sure that I know how to say people's names. That would be awesome.
We'll get there.
What a good show, though, huh?
I thought it was great. It's really great to get. I love getting filmmakers because it's just that's where the action is. I mean, I love film festivals, but I love film festivals because film festivals bring all the filmmakers, and that's where the magic happens. Between the filmmaker, the script, and the actor. So. I thought it was a great show.
Yeah, and I think so too. And I think the thing that really is exciting, and I do commend you for bringing on female film directors and actors, because again, I just don't think my conversations with the guys, a lot of times, there's different levels, because women are now facing a new sort of a breakthrough. It may be that ceiling. There's still a long way to go. But I'm just saying that I believe that, thank you very much. You provided me 2 wonderful, beautiful women that are really dynamic and really are excited about what they do. And I just think that, like I said, you and I have been on this mission now, you for much longer than me, by 7 years, have on this mission to really help film festivals get known. And because as funny as it may seem, because they are in the industry, in film festival world, there still is a lot of things where they don't know, they don't have marketing or they don't have support. Because a lot of times, I mean, think about it. A lot of times these film festivals are people that are just getting interns, and they're getting people to help them. And as well as I do is that when you come up to someone and go, I really want you to help me, it's going to be like $55 a day, and I'm not going to pay you. You tend to have to go through a lot to be able to get them to really help you out. Damn it, I dropped my glasses. Talk.
Look, the film festivals, this industry is really blowing up. I think in the next 2 or 3 years, it's going to be it's going to be really close to Hollywood. I mean, you're going to be able to go to film festivals. You're going to see filmmakers that are monetizing their movies. You're going to see actors that are going to get paid.
Yeah.
I mean, because it's everybody. You know what I mean? Like right now, the indie film business industry isn't monetized yet. It's really hard to go out and get money. It's hard to be able to put the money together to pay people what they deserve.
Yeah.
But I think that as cable goes away, because people are going to be going to the internet, you're going to start seeing films like these, great filmmakers that we had today get monetized. They're going to be able to raise money.
Yeah. No, I agree with you wholeheartedly. Well, I appreciate you coming on again and checking with us. We will certainly have you on next time, and I think we have some other fun, exciting stuff to talk about. Yes. We definitely, if you go to filmfestivallive.com and check out the tabs, we have some really great new features we're adding into where we want to help market and get you folks going, get you on the show. Kevin E. West was a good example as well. We have a feature that we're doing where we're going to feature them on the website in our news department. And because I spent so many years in news, I have some pretty good outlets to be able to have people seen when they're on our filmfestivallive.com news. Then we're going to be doing things with that where we're going to get it on our Instagrams. As you know, Sal is a crazy man on our Instagram and our social media. And then from there as well, we're going to be doing a nice blast of our email list. And again, Sal is adding in so much of this great stuff, and I appreciate that, Sal. I thought you were having a hard time figuring out what to do with your hands. You're like, the hell's he doing?
It's the Italian in me. I got to do something with the hands.
You're throwing gang signs, aren't you? Yeah, whatever, dude. Yeah, there you go. That was.
I'm talking to my peeps out in L.A.
Yeah,
you better pronounce my name right.
Sal Ramondi. Yeah. All right. Hey, thanks for coming on. We'll talk to you again next show. Goodbye. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's the show. I'm out of here. I got to go do something else. And I hope you had a great time. Again, all these wonderful topics that we have. And sometimes I feel like I'm a little schizophrenic and I may be saying 7 different things at once. But pull it together. Figure it out. If you need any help, any support, we are here for you. Filmfestivallive.com. And, of course, oprime.tv. That's OPPRIME.TV. Check it out. If you have a film festival that you want to check it out and see it on oprime.tv, go there, sign up. Sal will get a hold of you. We'll make it happen. We'll get her done. All right, everybody, be safe, be well. And remember what I said earlier, get your damn vaccination. I know. You're like, well, I don't need it. Yeah, you probably don't need your seatbelts either. Good luck on that ride. All right, everybody, have a great day. Be safe, be well. Bye-bye.